Ladies and gentlemen, this is Red, White, and True with Ed and Ronnie. And the show starts right now.
Wake up, America. The rooster's been crowing and the sun is already high. It's time to open them ears and open that heart. Start listening to Ed and Ronnie, two fellas with a whole wagon load of sense, and watch their streams.
A whole wagon load of sense. You got a whole wagon load of sense, Ronnie?
Yeah, sometimes.
Well, you know, we won't claim that for all times, but welcome everyone to Red, White, and True with Ed and Ronnie. We've got several folks in here already, and we have got a lot in store for you this evening. What's going on, Ronnie?
Not a whole lot. Yes, we do have a lot to cover. We may go past 8 o'clock tonight, I think.
It is quite possible, but that's okay. We are not under contract. We're not contractually obligated to stay at 1 hour. So we're kind of like that viral YouTuber that has been up in Minnesota. He is an independent journalist, meaning he can say and do what he wants to do, not what somebody else tells him. So that's where we are with this. Absolutely. I just got a message that I don't even know. I've not seen this anywhere, but the Times Square Ball for New Year's Eve 2025 celebration, which will be ringing in the new year 2026, will feature a special red, white, and blue design as part of the post-midnight celebration. But there is more. The ball will raise again with the patriotic America 250 design. And on July the 3rd, 2026, a second historic ball drop will take place on the eve of Independence Day to anchor the nation's celebrations for America's 250th anniversary. This will be the first time the ball drops on a date other than New Year's Eve since 1907. And I think that is like the coolest thing ever.
Yes, I actually have a video on that, as a matter of fact.
Oh, well, obviously. So for those of you who are here, we actually get together and share some of the things that we're going to do, but we don't set and, we don't have a 3-hour staff and prep meeting. And so sometimes he has things that I don't. Sometimes I have things that he don't. And sometimes we mix and match and have things together. So if you've got that video, let's see what it shows.
For millions of people, the year 2026 will begin once a crystal-covered ball, 12.5 feet in diameter, makes its descent in New York City's Times Square.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
New York Times owner Adolph Ochs organized the first New York City ball drop on December 31st, 1907. The original ball, this is a replica, was made by Jacob Starr, a Ukrainian immigrant metalworker. The event has taken place every year since, except in 1942 and 1943. In those 2 years, revelers welcomed the new year with a minute of silence. During the COVID pandemic in 2020, the New Year's ball still dropped in a nearly empty Times Square. The brand new ball is the biggest ever.
The ball is 12,350 pounds.
Michael Phillips, president of Jamestown, the company that's redeveloping One Times Square into a year-round destination.
This is the 9th ball since 1907.
Gave me a close-up look at the ball, covered in over 5,000 handcrafted circular Waterford crystal discs.
They're in 3 different sizes, 3 different puck sizes in round versus triangular, which was the old geometric dome patterns.
It's a self-contained light show with many special effects.
Why do you think the ball drop means so much to so many people?
It's something that really symbolizes releasing what was and looking forward to what's to come.
And in 2026, a bonus. The ball drops again on the eve of July 4th, in addition to New Year's.
From all of us at CBS Sunday Morning, Happy New Year. And yes, I wore this to my high school prom.
Well,
So some pretty good information there.
it is, and appreciate the tip and appreciate your video. Just I wanted to get that in because we're going to talk, or I'm going to talk a little bit in my personal segment about Trump. It may not come across the greatest for some of you. It may come across really good for some of you. But before I got to that, I wanted to show something. You know, the 250 is a huge thing, and I love the way Trump is going about making that a huge thing.
Yes.
So with that being said, again, welcome. We've got people here from X. We've got people here from Ed Boston Media. We got people here on the Red, White, and True with Ed and Ronnie Facebook page. And welcome all of you. If we don't know you, you don't personally know us, throw a comment in and tell us where you're listening and watching from. We'd love to hear from you. And usually when we get going, we have a humorous segment or two. And so usually that's on Ronnie. So there you go.
All right. Let's see. Humorous. Well, Trump met with Zelensky down at Mar-a-Lago and for some reason decided to invite the press for lunch. I thought this was pretty funny.
Are you okay? Is everyone fine? Margot, if you would, I think you could sit outside and have some food. Would you like to have food, or do you consider that a bribe? And therefore you cannot write honestly, or therefore you have to write a bad story? Okay, because if you'd like, would you like something to eat at this time? Yes or no? You can speak.
Yes, sir.
Yes? Okay. Margot, take them outside, tell the chef, serve them a little lunch, okay?
Thank you, press.
Thank you, press. Thank you, press. Thank you, guys. Thank you, guys. Thank you, press. Thank you, press.
That should
Please look the way
guarantee
you
good
can.
stories,
Thank
but
you,
it
press.
won't.
Thank you, guys.
They'll only get worse.
So
So go out of their way to make them worse. She gave us a hamburger.
Could you imagine being a press, and getting invited to lunch with the president? That's pretty awesome. I thought that was really cool.
And what do you say to the president? No thanks, or sure?
Yeah.
Is it a bribe? Is it a bribe? You're going to write a bad story. That is, you just never know what he's going to do.
Yeah.
Probably later in the day, he probably slammed one for being from ABC or something like that.
Your fake news. Hope you enjoyed your cheeseburger.
Yeah, that little piece of chopped steak we gave you.
Yeah.
It'll be your last here at Mar-a-Lago.
We have not done a liberal Looney Tune Tuesday in a while, but of course we haven't been on Tuesday, last couple of weeks. But so here's, in the spirit of the Christmas season, this is some liberal Looney Tunes that decided to get together and sing Christmas carols. This is as cringe gets.
Rescue MAGA gentlemen, you wanted all this shit. From RFK to Elon Musk to JD, that's that twist. We told you so, now do you know the crime you did commit? Oh, tidings of chaos and doom, chaos and doom. Oh, tidings of chaos and doom.
Clever.
Now, except for one lady, they all look like they were the angriest people in the United States of America. especially the guy that was leading.
Yeah, yeah. He got a little too into that. That's come on, that's ridiculous. But whatever. If that's what you want to spend your time on, then by all means, it's a free country.
Well, that would be like do better liberals there
Yeah,
on that one
yeah,
instead of
yeah.
do better Texas, which I assume you have a do better Texas tonight.
I actually do not. I didn't get a chance to pull up that video. I completely forgot you had sent it to me until right before you said we're going live, and I went, "Oh crap!" So I do not, but I will next time we go live. I will have double do better Texas. My
Double
segment is
do better
actually
Texas.
entitled. Yeah, my segment's actually entitled "Do Better Minnesota." So,
Oh, and so we got do better liberal. You know, we could just have a recurring theme throughout each show of do better somewhere.
absolutely, do better
Be-
somebody.
yeah, because there's a lot of somebodies that need to do a little bit better than what
Yes,
they've been doing.
absolutely, absolutely. But other
You
than
know,
that, I don't really have too much more. It's just the do better Minnesota because that's a huge
w-
story.
yeah, that is a huge story, and well, this isn't humor, but we kind of like when people not mock us, but imitate us. That form of flattery, you know.
And we urge Democrat senators to vote to reopen the government and to do the right thing.
And to do the right thing. Now, obviously, that video is dating you a little bit because you had way less hair on your face and on top of your head. So that was,
Yes,
you know, but we're going to continue to use that when we get somebody as prominent as Caroline Levitt to, uh, you know, give us a plug,
that's right.
even if it was unintentional on her part. We're going to use that. And speaking of Caroline Levitt, uh, she has a pretty big announcement that she had on Christmas Day, I believe, is when she announced it.
Well, just moments ago, Caroline Levitt made it official. She and her husband expecting baby number 2 soon. Take a look here at the post that Fox News made on X saying it's a girl. White House Press Secretary Caroline Levitt and her husband Nick are expecting their second bundle of joy, a baby girl, due in May of 2026. Levitt told Fox News Digital, "My heart is overflowing with gratitude to God for the blessing of motherhood, which I truly believe is the closest thing to heaven on earth." She did release some photos of the announcement there. She went on Instagram, made these posts, and uploaded these new photos saying the greatest Christmas gift we could ever ask for, a baby girl coming in May of 2026. My husband and I are
We'll just go ahead and cut it off there. Congratulations to the best press
Yes,
secretary I think we have ever had. And we've had some good ones in the past. Uh, Sarah Huckabee Sanders was awesome.
she was good.
Uh,
She was very good.
not everybody liked him as well, but I liked Ari Flesher. He I thought was a good press secretary. And then we've had some not so good, and we'll just
Circle back,
let
Jen Psaki,
yeah,
Corinne Jean Pierre.
yeah, there you go. You know, when you think about Saki, uh, PMS NBC is now MS Now. Isn't that correct? Isn't that what they're
Yes,
called?
yeah, yeah,
MS Now. And
yeah.
so when NBC kicks you out, you know you have to be really bad. And she's still on that roster. She's still with
She's
MS
still,
Now.
yeah, yeah,
And she is just as bad as she's always been.
yeah. She was no good during COVID. It was always circle back this, circle back that, and then we got Corinne Jean Pierre, who just couldn't go 15 minutes without reminding us that she's black and gay. You know, nobody cared, but she had to remind everyone.
Yeah, that was, I don't know if it was bad to worse or equally
Yeah,
miserable,
equal.
but yeah, that. And while I'm thinking of it, see, I got to do some things right when I think about it, or else it'll just go out of my old mind. I wanted to show my shirt. It's a new polo I got, and check this out.
That's awesome. I love it.
So, yeah, I got several new sweatshirts and polos for Christmas. Well, I actually ordered them for myself. Your mom and I do that sometimes. We order things that we want and say, "Well, there's your early Christmas present." So, now we did all three get a hooded sweatshirt.
Yes, we did.
In today's world, they're called hoodies, I suppose. To me, they're sweatshirts with hoods on them.
Hoodies.
But it's a pretty cool one, and we'll get that one for you to see here sometime.
I was going to wear mine, but I figured you were going to wear it, so I've been comfy all day. So
neither one of us. You've kind of had a pretty good 2 weeks here with the holidays falling perfectly on your days to work.
Yes, yeah. I worked 1 day last week. I work tomorrow, and then I worked 1 day and I was off for 7. I work tomorrow and then I'm off for 8. I am, however, on call this week, so I don't get to leave the county and I don't get to celebrate New Year's. I'll probably be answering stupid calls, but we'll see. Fingers crossed I get a slow week.
There you go. And yeah, I mean, 2 days out of 15 or 2 days out of 17 or something like that. That's pretty good.
Yeah, I'm not arguing.
Pretty good schedule.
I'm not arguing.
And I think you've been getting caught up on some much needed rest.
I have. Oh my goodness. I was thinking about it today. I think all I've done, is sleep and work on Red, White, and True. And play a little bit of Xbox, I think. So.
Well, I think I played it Friday, the video about Sunday naps. And yeah, Amy was at work. Yeah. You were upstairs. I was downstairs. And somebody could have.
Did we lose you? Or did I get lost?
Huh. Not sure what happened there.
Yeah. Looks like you're still frozen to me, unless I'm frozen. I don't know.
I don't know. To me, it looks like we're both okay. You hear me?
Yeah, I hear you just fine. You're just frozen to me.
Well, they could have blown our house up, and we would have.
Oh yeah. We never would have known. I was dead to the world. Spunk over here, he was dead asleep too. So yeah, we could have been invaded by North Korea, and we never would have known.
But the thing is, North Korea or anyone else who would want to do harm to us don't know what time we take our naps. I guess apparently I did freeze, but they could hear me. And
yes,
hopefully, if you guys are listening and can't see me now, or if I'm still froze, let me know, and I'll go out and come back in.
You look good to me now. It's working okay.
Well, I'm not sure what happened, but we will continue on. What's your first story? I won't say your big story because I know your big story, but
yeah, let's see
what's
here.
Gonna be your first story?
Well, let's see here. Mamdani has officially announced his FDNY fire commissioner, and I'm not positive if she's a woman, but I don't know if she's pretending to be something else. But here's the announcement.
That I will be appointing Lillian Bonsignor as the fire commissioner of FDNY, overseeing over 11,000 uniformed firefighters, 4,500 EMTs, and over 2,000 civilian employees.
I am honored, so honored, and humbled to stand before you as the new fire commissioner. This appointment represents a significant responsibility, one I accept with humility, dedication, and a deep sense of commitment to the city and its people. First and foremost, I want to thank Mayor-elect Mamdani for his trust and confidence. His vision of a new era signals a time of opportunity and progress, and I am proud to serve during this important time for our department and our city.
That's what we're trying to figure out. I don't know. This individual has, however, not worked as a firefighter nor an EMT. I don't know how they got the appointment, but whatever. So, too bad New York.
I believe I seen a post, an X post of Elon Musk basically saying that's the stupidest thing I ever heard.
Yeah.
Elon's been a little more vocal the last few days. He's kind of dodging it again. I'm not, on an official basis, but that was from Tanya.
That was from Tanya.
Yeah, well, but yeah, Musk is, maybe he took some time during the Christmas season. And speaking of the Christmas season, I've got no video, but I've got a story to tell here. Let me make sure that this video don't start blaring as I talk about this. The White House remarked that Christmas will continue to be a holiday for Christians celebrating the birth of their Savior after a Washington Post article criticized the Trump administration's explicitly sectarian holiday messages. On Friday, the Washington Post, better known by me as the Washington Compost, went viral after promoting an article that highlighted the more religious tone in many Trump officials' Christmas messages. Top officials in the President Donald Trump's administration posted messages from their government accounts naming Christmas in explicitly sectarian terms, such as a day to celebrate the birth of our Savior, Jesus Christ, the article said. They gave examples of the Department of Homeland Security, Secretary of War Pete Hegseth, Agriculture Secretary Brooke Rollins, Education Secretary Linda McMahon, Justice Department Assistant Attorney General Harmeet Dillon, all who described Christmas as a Christian celebration of the birth of Jesus. Now, that was awfully nice of them to give the definition of Christmas.
Right.
Isn't that what Christmas is? The first letters, Christ,
yes.
Christian, Christmas, Christ. And so, and it's funny that the White House came out and said, well, we're going to keep calling Christmas a Christian holiday because, well, it is.
It's stupid that it has to be, that even has to be said. It's stupid that even has to be brought up as a topic.
Well, here is my suggestion for those who don't want to recognize that Christmas is celebrating the birth of Christ. I would suggest that you work all of those holidays that you get off paid, and not accept holiday pay. I would suggest that you not exchange gifts, and just boycott Christmas.
That's right.
I will not have
how everybody
hurt if you do so.
Everybody complained about Trump giving everybody those extra holidays, paid holidays. So, you want to complain about it, then don't take them.
Yeah,
You guys go ahead and go to work, and we'll enjoy time with our families. And
there you go.
that's like people complaining about anything Trump does. Talking about extra tax returns and more money in their tax returns. People are complaining about that. Don't take it. Don't take it. Give it right back. I don't care.
Well, speaking of that, Carolyn Levitt had something to say about that.
Americans can also expect another boost to their bank accounts in the months ahead, as 2026 tax refund season is upon us after the holidays, and it's projected to be the largest ever, thanks to President Trump's passage of the One Big Beautiful Bill. According to recent analysis from Piper Sandler, when Americans file their taxes early next year, their refunds could be about 1/3 larger than usual, or roughly an extra $1,000 per filer. That is money straight into the pockets of the American people. It's only because of President Trump and Republicans' leadership that Americans will now pay no tax on tips, overtime, and Social Security. President Trump and Republicans believe hardworking Americans deserve to keep more of their hard-earned money, but Democrats, on the other hand, every single one of them, voted against these massive tax cuts.
These massive tax cuts. So, as in following up on what you said, maybe they should just send their tax refunds back to the government.
Absolutely.
Maybe they can put it in a special fund for one of their pet projects, whatever that may be, and they can fund it that way with their money and not our money.
That's right. Yeah. Go ahead and send your money to, transgenders in Zimbabwe, or, the 200 million to Sesame Street in Iraq. Who cares? Go ahead and send your money to that then. I guarantee you, though, I will bet my tax return that not one will. Not one.
But while they are on their way to the bank, they will gripe about tax cuts. And
oh, yeah.
I mean, I'm kind of excited. I don't have a clue, but normally your mom and I end up paying federal taxes each year. And she works quite a bit of overtime. So hopefully that no tax on overtime will help us out. No tax on Social Security should help us out, because it kind of stinks that you get Social Security that you paid into, but then you have to pay taxes on it when you not when you get it, but you have to report it on your end of year filing. And that's what always puts us into the level of having to pay. So anxious to see that. I will not be complaining about that, and will be happy to accept whatever we receive.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, let's
What's
see
next
here. I
for
got
you?
another. Well, I got Hunter Biden was on the Sean Ryan show, and I got a little clip about it. And Hunter actually admits that Joe Biden messed up.
I assume that anybody that's running for president, if they could fix the immigration issue, would try to fix the immigration issue. Because we need immigration. We need a vibrant immigration. But we don't want immigrants that are coming here illegally, draining us of resources and being prioritized above people that are actual literal heroes. Whatever your position on the things that he did them exceedingly well and accomplished them. And he had mistakes like every other president has had. Some that I may disagree with, but absolutely 100% had some real failures also. So the way in which they executed the withdrawal from Afghanistan, I think it was an obvious failure. I think 13 Marines are dead. I think that there was a better way to do it. And I think that, I can blame it on his generals. I can blame it on the people, the way in which we did it. But my dad always knew this also, is that the buck stops with him. I think that was a failure. I don't think leaving Afghanistan was the right thing to do.
I cannot stand the way the Afghan withdrawal happened.
Yeah.
I don't even want to talk about it because it's going to get me into a really dark place.
I hear your anger, and I'm not here to tell you that you shouldn't be angry.
Wow. So.
Wow. Well, he sounded like a politician for sure there.
Yes.
Trying to distance himself from his father and his father's failed policies. And he didn't mention that actually the withdrawal from Afghanistan was set up by the Trump administration with all kinds of things put into place that either Afghanistan did this or there'd be no withdrawal. And then if they did this, or there would be no withdrawal. And there wasn't anything in the Trump proposal that was actually in effect that said we cut and run and we leave Americans behind. So, he kind of left that part out. Actually, Joe was set up to succeed.
Yes.
It was in place before he probably even announced that he was running, or at least somewhere in that time frame. But he still managed to, as that's a good one.
So.
That is a good one. Must have got his allowance cut off.
Yeah.
But to me, he sounded like a politician, and surely, he will not run for office.
Well, I mean, if he did, he's already got the smoking crack down, lying down, the laptop scandal down. So he'd fit in DC like a hand in a glove. So if he wants to run,
Didn't he sleep with his brother's wife or something too?
Yeah. His brother was either dead or dying, something like that, and he got with her, and videos of him with a crack pipe in his mouth. So he's already halfway there. Plus he's got the Biden name. He's got the Biden name.
Not to mention all the millions of dollars he made off of things that he was totally unqualified for.
Mm-hmm.
The only qualification that he had was his last name was Biden.
That's absolutely right.
Yeah. So, that was a good one. I hadn't seen. It's interesting the ones that he picked out, because there is no doubt that the immigration in Afghanistan were two of the biggest failures of the Biden presidency. But it's just the tip of the iceberg of a long, long list.
A long, long list of failures.
Well, let's go to your segment, because it's a long segment. It needs to be taken slowly, and we need to absorb what's going on in Minnesota. And I think you said it's Do Better Minnesota.
Yes. Let's get this one going. Yeah. So let's get this out of the way so we can look at that. All right. Faith, Fire, Power, and Facts with Ronnie. All right. So today we are talking about the big deal in Minnesota. I don't know if I'm sure anyone who has any sort of social media or anything has seen or heard about this. This is an absolutely insane story. So the first question I have is, what if millions of your tax dollars, so we're in Indiana, so what if millions of our Indiana tax dollars were going to daycare centers where no children were ever seen? That's the question sweeping Minnesota and sparking a federal fraud probe. We're looking at the serious developing story out of Minnesota that involves daycare funding, taxpayer money, and growing federal scrutiny. This is not about race, it's not about immigration, and it's not about attacking the community. This is about oversight, accountability, and public trust. Now, a few weeks ago, maybe last week before last, I don't quite remember. It's been a lot of things going on. But we covered Somali immigrants and the restaurant business. We covered in Somalis and working in a food packing plant and all kinds of things This is going on with about Somali daycare centers. Over the past several weeks, videos and reports have circulated online showing licensed daycare centers in Minnesota that appear inactive or empty, despite records indicating that they received large amounts of public funding. Now, I've got several videos. We'll get into that, how much funding Minnesota taxpayer dollars are actually getting thrown into these things. Many of these centers are reportedly Somali-owned, which has added sensitivity and tension to an already serious issue. Like I said, we've already talked about this. Here's what's going on. Minnesota distributes state and federal child care assistance funds to licensed daycare providers. These funds are meant to help working families afford child care and to ensure children are cared for in a safe, regulated environment. Recent public records and on-site video footage have raised questions about whether some facilities are operating at the capacity they claim to be operating at all. And with that, we're going to start with a few videos here.
Here in Minnesota, massive fraud is taking place within the government and the Somali population. Here, this building alone, Quality Learning Center, is a daycare, yet they spelled learning wrong and they said leering. This daycare alone in 2025 has received $1.9 million from the government. And the strange things about these childcare centers is there's no one here right now. It's midday on a weekday. And if you were to try to go inside, it's completely closed and the windows are all blacked out. No one's working. Midday, children should be in here. And this place is licensed for 99 children. And this is the outside. There's no windows, no nothing. And like I said, they literally spelt the word wrong on their sign. This is open and blatant fraud taking place here inside of Minnesota. The government is complicit with this, and this is just one of the hundreds of child daycare centers here inside of Minneapolis being ran by the Somali population. It's sad that it's happening here in Minnesota, and it stinks that it's happening and it's being labeled on the Somali population. However, that's just the facts of what's happening here inside of Minnesota. $1.9 million for this daycare center that can't even spell learning right.
$1.9 million. And if you see on the background, that is AOC and Jasmine Crockett. They got their member of Congress certifications from the Leering Quality Center.
So what do you think about this daycare center? They spelled learning wrong. They've received over $1.9 million this year alone, and they're supposed to have 99 children here.
I don't see it.
99 children.
Have you ever seen any children here?
None at all.
This year they got 1.9 million. Last year they got 1.5 million of your tax money for 99 children. We just want to know where are the kids.
I've been here since 2017. I haven't seen anybody like
Never
that here.
seen a child here.
No, not at all.
And how does that make you feel knowing that this place is receiving $1.9 million?
Disgusting. I mean, what the hell? They stealing the money. That's a federal grant too. That's, if they get caught for that's a federal offense.
And do you think Tim Walz should go to jail for all the fraud that he's enabled here in his state?
That's him doing this? What the heck yeah.
They even spelled learning wrong on their sign for a place that's supposed to be educating children.
That's crazy. Who runs it? Who supposedly runs it?
Somalians. Oh my God. So this daycare center is literally just a place to traffic money. $1.9 million just this year alone. And this guy's been living here for 8 years and has never seen a single child walk through those doors.
Absolute insanity. Let me go back here. Several of these concerns, the federal authorities have confirmed that they are reviewing potential fraud involving social justice programs in Minnesota, including child care funding. This follows earlier proven cases of large-scale fraud in the state where nonprofit organizations were convicted of stealing millions in taxpayer funds intended for child nutrition programs. We covered that a few weeks ago. That history matters because it shows that this is not a hypothetical concern. At this time, it is important to be clear. No individual daycare owner has been publicly convicted in connection with these specific allegations. Investigations are still ongoing. Claims made in the viral videos have not all been independently verified. But oversight failures, if they exist, deserve scrutiny. I mean, obviously, that's millions of dollars. State leadership has pushed back, saying Minnesota already has systems in place to monitor fraud and that improvements are ongoing. Critics argue that those systems failed repeatedly, allowing millions of dollars to be paid out without proper verification. That disagreement is now the center of the story. Taxpayer money is not unlimited. Public trust is not automatic. And programs meant to help families should never be treated as blank checks. When questions arise, especially involving public funds, transparency is not optional. It's required. This story is still unfolding. This isn't going away anytime soon. Investigations will determine what's real, what's exaggerated, and what, if anything, crossed the line into criminal fraud. Until then, the focus should remain exactly where it belongs, on the facts, on due process, and on accountability for anyone who misused public funds, regardless of background or politics. That's how trust is restored. That's how programs survive, and that's how the truth comes out. I've got a couple more.
Right here we have 2 child daycare centers. We have the Minnesota Child Care Center, and then we also have Nuna. Between the two, $2.66 million. Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
Why are you recording?
Yes. We would like to know.
Well, it says we're trying to figure out 102 children. Is that for this facility?
What is the name?
It's from the state of Minnesota website. It says you have 102 children here in your child care.
Which child care name is a lot of
Minnesota Child Care right here. It's from the state of Minnesota's website. We're just wondering where the children are.
Where the children are?
Yeah, where are the children? It says you have 102 children here, and you got $2.66 million this year in funding, and $2.5 million last year. We're just wondering where the kids are.
And who are you?
My name's Nick Shirley.
Nick Shirley.
And where are you? Which department? That is harassment.
Oh, we are from ourselves.
Yeah.
Hello, we'd like to ask where the money's going. Look at that. Shut us down. Where are the children at? No children inside of this daycare center. And look at this daycare center right here. No children inside of this daycare center. But between those buildings, over $2.6 million. We were just curious, where are the children at? Here's another daycare center inside of the same building.
We don't want you to be videotaping anything.
Where is all the money going for if there's no children at these daycare centers?
Sir,
Yes.
I told you, please leave.
Yes, we have a question though. Where is the children at these daycare centers if there's millions of dollars?
Ask the local government, yeah.
We have the paper right here. Come here.
Who are you, first of all?
My name's Nick Shirley.
You don't have any permission to record me, period.
Can we talk outside?
You don't have permission to record.
She doesn't either have. She doesn't have permission to record me.
No, you cannot stop people on the street and question them.
We can ask.
You don't have any permission.
Where are the children?
I will sue you. You don't have any permission. We have nothing to do with this. You
Okay.
understand?
Then are there
So leave. Please leave.
Are there children here?
Please leave.
Where are the children? $2.6 million for a daycare center. We just want to know where are the children.
Who you work for?
My name's Nick Shirley.
Who do you work for?
I work for myself, Nick Shirley.
Okay, what are you recording?
We're wondering where are the children? $2.66 million for
You're not talking to
the
the
Minnesota
right person.
Child Care Center.
You're not talking to the right person.
Are there children that come here? Answer
You're
the
not
question.
talking
Are
to
there
the right
children?
person. Leave.
There's no children inside this
You
building.
don't know who you're talking to. Leave.
That's just a simple question. Where are the children at?
And right now in Polymarket, there's only a 4% chance that Tim Walz is charged by March 31st. It's time to hold our politicians accountable, especially when there's blatant fraud.
Now we're being followed by the Somalis. This is another daycare center, absolutely no signage, and there's no footprints in the snow of children playing outside. $5 million within the past
$5.9 million in 2 years. $5.9 million they received in 2 years. That facility right there.
And now we have a group of Somalis telling us in our vehicle right now.
From this daycare center, we headed over to the infamous Quality Learning Center, which actually spells Quality Leering Center on the outside of their sign. That's how blatant this fraud is here at this daycare.
So this is Quality Leering Center. I meant to say Quality Learning Center.
Don't open
They
up!
said they spelt learning wrong.
Don't open up!
How do you have ice here, ma'am? I'm literally a YouTuber.
Don't open up!
Ma'am, what do you think about the fraud that's taking place here in Minnesota?
Don't open up! We have ice!
And what do you think about this place being licensed for 99 children
Don't open up!
and getting $4 million over
Open
the
up! It's ice!
$4 million in the last 2 years?
Go away!
What do you think about that? Are you in
Go
favor?
away!
Are you in favor of that?
Go away!
You know where
You're
the-
not welcome here.
Are you-
Shame on you.
Are you in favor of $1.9 million going illegally?
Open up.
Fraud.
Lunatics like that make Nick Shirley's job almost impossible, or anybody's job almost impossible, claiming that they're ICE. Are you kidding me?
We're in the middle of a strip mall here inside of this neighborhood.
In fiscal year 2025, this facility, which shows its license for 74 kids, was paid $1.26 million in tax money. And there are no kids, and all the facilities are the same way, all of them.
Let's see if anyone opens.
Yeah, let's see.
Once again, I try to find a spot for my son.
These videos go on and on and on. In interest of time, I'm going to stop playing. I've got one more. It's just we could do another couple hours just on this topic alone. It's absolute insanity. And you know, unfortunately, though, I fear that this is not just a Minnesota problem. I honestly think that this is not just a Minnesota problem. That if everybody were to dig down in every state, that we would find some sort of fraud of the same type going on. Absolutely ridiculous. I'm going to bring Pastor Ed back here. What are you thinking about all this?
Oh my goodness! ICE.
Yeah,
Don't open. ICE is here.
Yeah, that guy definitely looked like law enforcement of some sort, didn't he?
Yeah, he looked like Doogie Howser. And Bill and Tanya kind of nailed it. He's done more than the government. My question is, will this be finally the time where somebody has to pay for the crimes? Not financially, because that money's already in Somalia.
Yeah.
But is somebody going to go to jail? Now, I know that they've already had several indictments, but this is all new stuff that's coming out.
Yes.
So now, Elon Musk, I told you he had been speaking out. There was a post on X by Doge designer, and I have no idea who that is. He said, breaking, Nick Shirley's Minnesota Somalia fraud video just crossed 100 million views on X. And then it says, you are the media now, meaning people like him, people that bring the news on live streams, podcasts, you know, what we're doing right here. We're taking the news out. And Elon Musk's reply, this is classic. Talking about 100 million views on X, Elon says more than the daily readership of all newspapers in America combined.
Yeah.
So when people say that they're getting their news from places like us, I think that is happening.
I think so as well.
And so
I think that something needs to be happening. You know, as of right now, at least $15.2 million in fraud has been discovered. Now, could you imagine what $15.2 million could do for homeless, veterans, drug intervention? I mean, any number of things.
Well, any number of legitimate programs that liberals do have legitimate things they support.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
so even if it was supporting a liberal backed project, as long as it's legitimate and for the good of the country and good of the people, you know, their money could be going to that instead of to Somalia warlords that, you know, as you said earlier, we could go on and on and on about this entire topic.
Oh yeah, for sure.
The government in Somalia is horrible. It's not even really a government. It's a bunch of thugs that is survival of the fittest. And so, there's that. There's the whole Elon Omar uh, situation. I saw today where in the, they have certain reports they have to file for income of themselves and their immediate family. Elon Omar's husband, his value of his two businesses went up like 1,000%, not 100%, 1,000%.
1,000%.
And I wonder how that is. Uh, there's that, and then there's the whole Somaliland issue that you and I discussed earlier today. And just to briefly go with that, Somaliland it's actually a state. Isn't that what we came up with? It's a state
Yeah, yeah.
that is looking to be a breakaway republic, so to speak. Maybe not a republic, but a breakaway something or another, and its own entity. And actually, for the first time ever, a country recognized them as their own independent. It's not a nation, but Israel was the first country to recognize them for their independence. The country of India as well recognized them, and I think there are several others. They're hoping that the United States comes on board, but uh, that will probably take some doing, because you have the Elon Omars of the world that don't want that to take place, because Somalia
Right. Yeah.
does things in the right way, as a government should run. And governments are governments, but they are definitely different than the rest of Somalia. And so, you know, and you said it so well. It's not just about Somalia. It's not just about race. It's about right and wrong. It's about
Yeah.
doing the right thing, and bilking the government out of, you know, forget the millions. It's billions of dollars. And you said that there was, you were sure that I think they've already started investigations in Ohio, maybe California.
Yeah.
Can you imagine, with the size of the liberal population in California, how big that could be?
I actually, right before we came on, there was a California sheriff that had invited Nick Shirley to come move there and do investigations into fraud there. So that would be a full-time job, and he would need to hire some people, I would think.
Well, let's do news headlines.
Oh, I'm going to pull them back up. Let's see here.
All right. Well, I went first on Friday, so I'll let you have the honor this time.
All right. Judge hands media major win with the Charlie Kirk murder trial. Utah 4th District Court Judge Tony Graff ordered on Monday that audio and transcripts of a closed hearing surrounding Charlie Kirk's alleged assassin, Tyler Robinson, can be released with redactions. In a virtual hearing, Graff ruled that the transcript of a hearing that took place in October can be issued with some redactions in the coming weeks, according to WRAL News. He detailed which lines of the transcript can be redacted, which included security measures, obviously. The judge said that transparency to the public and media was foundational to the judicial system. Lawyers for media outlets wrote in a significant filing that allowing full access with safe access safeguards the integrity and the fact-finding process, which properly conducting judicial proceedings, according to WRAL. Graff previously ordered that the media could not publish photographs of Robinson in shackles and stopped a live stream of a hearing early in December. Robinson is charged with one count of aggravated murder, one count of felony discharge of a firearm causing serious bodily injury, 2 counts of obstruction of justice for hiding the rifle and discarding his clothing, 2 counts of witness tampering for instructing a roommate to delete texts, and 1 count of committing a violent offense in front of children. Utah attorney Jeffrey Gray confirmed in September that prosecutors are seeking the death penalty.
Seeking the death penalty.
Yeah.
I seen Charlie Kirk's pastor that actually got quite a bit of attention in the aftermath of his assassination, said that he hopes that the gentleman who did that murder, assassination, hopes that he repents, that God forgives him, and then he's executed.
Absolutely.
Because there still has to be justice served, even when you repent and give your life to the Lord. That doesn't get you out of the justice that you get while you're still here on this earth. Secretary Marco Rubio listed numerous accomplishments for 2025 in address. Here's a couple minutes of Marco Rubio.
Hi, it's Marco Rubio. I'm the National Security Advisor and the Secretary of State and the Archivist right now, the acting archivist for the 47th President of the United States, the best president we've ever had, and it's an honor to be able to do this job. We have a lot of achievements this year. Let's start with the peace deals. One peace deal after another. India, Pakistan were ready to go to war, a very dangerous war. The president stopped it. Cambodia and Thailand, we got that peace deal put in place. Azerbaijan and Armenia, a war that could have started that would have been terrible. We put that into place. And of course, Gaza, that long war, nobody saw an end to it. The president got involved, brought it to an end, and with a plan for long-term stability and security. Beyond that, we went to Europe this year, and the president got NATO to do something no president has ever been able to get NATO to do, and that is increase their defense spending to 5%. Just a few years ago, they were at 2%. 5% for all these countries, an incredible achievement by President Trump and his team here. Beyond that, I'm very proud of the reforms under the president's leadership that we've done at the State Department. We got rid of USAID. We brought all that foreign aid under the State Department so that now when we give money to countries, we know where the money's going and we know we're helping our allies and our friends and not just enriching some, third-party group that's making a bunch of money from your taxpayer dollars. We also help secure the border. That's been a responsibility of the Homeland Security Department, but we had a role to play, not just in the deals we made with other countries to send people back. We've got more countries than ever accepting their people that are in this country illegally from their countries. They're taking them back. They're also helping us stop them from coming here in the first place. This is a great achievement. So on issue after issue, the president has kept his promise to the American people. He's keeping us safe by taking the war to the drug cartels. The drug cartels that are poisoning and killing our people, President Trump, he promised to do it, and he's stopping them. He's doing it. He's keeping his promise to you. 2026 is going to bring more challenges, but we have a great president and a great team that he's built, and we can't wait to see the exciting achievements of the year to come. Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy New Year to everybody. The best is yet to come.
I like Marco.
I do too.
I always have to chuckle because I always think back to 2016 when Trump ran the first time, and he had nicknames for all of the guys. I don't remember if there's any women on the Republican side back then, but he had nicknames for Cruz and Rubio. And,
oh yeah.
And then in 2020, for DeSantis and all these, but here
Ron DeSanctimonious.
DeSanctimonious, and yes. I think Rubio's was something about being little. He, small in stature.
Yeah, little Marco Rubio.
Yeah. So, but it's a great example of how you can disagree. They disagreed on different policies back then, but now he calls him the greatest president in the history of the United States.
Yeah.
And back to you.
Iran reportedly developing chemical biological missile warheads as protests spread over collapsing economy. Iran is reportedly developing chemical and biological warheads for its ballistic missiles even as the country faces mounting domestic unrest fueled by collapsing currency and soaring inflation. Sounded kind of like us the last 4 years. According to an exclusive report published by Iran International on Sunday, the outlet, citing unnamed military and security sources, reported that Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps has accelerated work on unconventional missile payloads alongside upgrades to command and control systems. If confirmed, the developments would raise serious alarms in Washington and Israel, particularly as Tehran struggles to contain growing anger at home. Officials concerns that Netanyahu has delayed advancing a post-war framework and ceasefire-related steps. According to Iran International, missile infrastructure has been repositioned and expanded, with some launch assets reportedly moved from eastern Iran to reduce vulnerability. The report claims the IRGC is exploring non-conventional warhead configurations for long-range missiles. Tehran has long denied pursuing chemical or biological weapons, insisting its missile program is defensive. Iran is signatory to the Chemical Weapons Convention, though Western governments have repeatedly accused the Islamic Republic of violating international norms. Well, that's happened since Iran's been Iran. They've always tried to come up with some sort of weapon, and it's Iran.
Yeah. We used to sing cadences. We used to sing cadences when I was at Fort Campbell, which was in 1983 and 1984, about the Ayatollah and, making them a parking lot and all kind of things. All the way back then, and here we are in 2025, almost 2026, and we're still thinking we should make them a parking lot.
Yeah, they're still acting up.
Earlier today, the president met with Zelensky from Ukraine. He and they talked about, obviously, the peace proposal. It was 28 points. It's down to 20 points. And one of the things I read said that they are about 90% there. But it's that last 10% that they're going to have a very, very difficult time getting to. Now, one of the other things that has happened this weekend is that Russia claims that Ukraine fired missiles aimed at Vladimir Putin's residence. Now, I would think that that would easily be verifiable whether that happened or it didn't happen. Russia says it did. Ukraine said it didn't. But here is the president and Zelensky earlier today.
It is 4:37 on this Monday morning, and this morning President Trump says Vladimir Putin is ready for peace and a deal to end the war in Ukraine could be near. He spoke with leaders from both countries. ABC's Nicole D'Antonio has the details from Washington.
Ukraine is ready for peace.
This morning, President Trump says Russia and Ukraine may be very close to a peace deal after Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky met with President Trump at Mar-a-Lago on Sunday. Trump also spoke with Russian President Vladimir Putin for hours on the phone.
We could be very close. There are one or two very thorny issues.
The president saying a major sticking point in attempting to reach a peace deal is the territory. Zelensky proposing a 20-point peace plan, which includes stronger security guarantees and a demilitarized buffer zone in the contested Donbas region of Ukraine. But Zelensky cautions any plan would likely need approval by the Ukrainian people.
If the plan will be very difficult for our society, very difficult, of course, our society has to choose and has to vote because it's their land, the land not of one person, it's the land of our nation for a lot of generations.
Over the weekend, Russia launched one of its biggest attacks on Ukraine in months, killing 2 people and injuring dozens more, leaving families without electricity, freezing in the cold. Trump saying Putin does not want to be forced to stop fighting, only to have to start again.
He doesn't want to be in that position. I understand that position. You have to understand the other side.
Both President Zelensky and Trump said peace talks will continue in the coming weeks, including a possible meeting with European leaders, potentially at the White House. Nicole D'Antonio, ABC News, Washington.
Now we're way over an hour now, and we said that we would be, and that's okay. I'm going to push my uh, Trump gonna Trump segment probably until Friday, uh, because I think Wednesday we will probably be doing the year in review and Red, White, and True's year in review. But I disagree with Trump when he says he understands the other side. I don't think we have to understand Russia's side on this. They are they are the more evil of the two. And we've talked before. Uh, Ukraine is no saint as a nation, never have been. Goes way back. Their government has been crooked, more crooked than Crooked Joe, or and if you remember, Ukraine is why President Trump got impeached. It was supposedly a phone call to the president of Ukraine that caused an issue. But that being said, uh, I don't think Putin wants the war to end. I don't know why he wouldn't want the war to end. It's crippling his economy. Uh, you know, I personally believe that they are our biggest enemy, but not the biggest threat right now. China, to me, is the biggest threat because they don't have any conflicts going on around the world. They're just building up and building up and building up. Russia, they couldn't afford to go to war with us right now. So, but as in the Trump going to Trump, Russia's going to Russia. And if you know me,
like always,
this, never, ever, ever trust Russia. Now it's on you.
All right. So my last news story was going to be kind of a wrap up review, but like you said, we're going to do it on Wednesday, so I'm going to hold off on that until Wednesday. So my last story is a Tennessee woman on death row for exceptionally violent crime set for execution, the first in 200 years. Krista Gale Pike is currently the only woman on Tennessee's death row, according to state records. She's reportedly released a statement after her execution date was set. It has been more than 2 centuries since Tennessee has had a woman on their execution list. According to BT.co, the Supreme Court has scheduled the execution of Pike on September 30th, 2026. Court filings were released on September 30th this year, wherein it was stated that if the sentence is carried out, then she would become the first woman to be executed in Tennessee since 1820 and the 4th woman executed by the state in its history. According to the Death Penalty Information Center, the name of the last woman executed in Tennessee was Martin Eve. She was reportedly hanged in 1820, and she was served as an accessory to murder. The reports further state that Pike was arrested for one of the most notorious crimes in the history of Tennessee. She was convicted of killing a 19-year-old Colleen Slimmer in January 1995 when she was just 18. She was enrolled in the Knoxville Job Corps, a federal training program at the time. Pike committed the crime after getting jealous of Slimmer. The jealousy arose after she began a relationship with a fellow student, Daryl Shipp, and felt that Slimmer was romantically interested in him too. On January 12, 1995, after luring her to a wooded area near the University of Tennessee's agricultural campus, Pike attacked her. Court records describe the attack as exceptionally violent. Pike is believed to have used a box cutter and a meat cleaver, carved a pentagram into Slimmer's body, and crushed her skull with a piece of asphalt. Prosecutors also claim that Pike kept a part of the victim's skull as a trophy. In 1996, Pike was convicted of first-degree murder and was sentenced to death. The boy, because of whom the crime was committed, received a life sentence with the possibility of parole, while a third accomplice testified against Pike was granted probation. My goodness. That woman sounds, and I hate to say it, like she deserves to be put to sleep. I mean, after something like that, that's awful. That's awful.
You don't have to say you hate to say it, because that is called justice.
Yes.
called justice. She can be forgiven. She can even give her life to the Lord, but
I
she
hope
has
he
to
has.
justice. Well, actually, my third news story was one of the ones that I used earlier. I just jumped the gun on it. But I have a story, and I think that, you know, how you have the 911 calls and the Do Better Texas and
Yes.
several different segments that, you know, the Senator Kennedy, and I was just going through to see if I could find a Senator Kennedy funny moment that we hadn't played yet. But I want to do a segment on good deeds done by first responders. We had one that we talked about on Friday, and immediately after that, your mother and you and I were talking about several that we seen, and the fact that many times they don't get the recognition that the horrible news gets. But here is it's very short, and watch what happens with this officer saving a life.
Thank you.
Now, to explain what we saw, um, she was on a bridge ready to jump. It was the day after Christmas, and I don't know what she was upset about, but the officer was able to safely sneak up behind her, grab her around the body, and pull her to safety. Uh, those mean old police officers.
Yeah.
So that is
Wow.
our first responder of the day. Maybe that's what we'll call it. First responder of the day.
I like it.
And so that would end our headline news segment. And there is so much that we didn't, you know, you would think that now that we are Monday, Wednesday, and either Friday or Saturday, that we would have a harder time coming up with enough. And here we are at an hour and 13 minutes, and we could go on for probably another 45 with stories.
Oh yeah. Yeah, at
let
least.
me let me just see if this Senator Kennedy let's oh no, that's way too long. Well, how about this? As you said with the Do Better Texas, we'll owe the Senator Kennedy.
We'll owe a
and
double.
Yeah. We will do
Yeah.
2.
We could do that.
Let's see.
For the closing video tonight, I didn't even get the chance to talk to you about it, but I chose it. It's I don't recall which jail, but it is an impromptu Christmas Day group of prisoners that got together and said the Lord's Prayer, and I thought it was pretty awesome. So I snuck that on there. I don't know if you saw that or not.
I did not. And see, Bill and Tanya want us to keep going, and they want their Kennedy minute. So again, we have to promise that you will get 2 Kennedy minutes on Wednesday.
I'll write that down right now.
Yeah. So
2 times
even
the
though
Kennedys and 2 times the Do Better.
Yeah, even though we're going to be doing a yearly wrap up, we will still get in some of our segments as well.
Yes.
And
Good.
you know, I feel bad because I don't think Bill and Tanya will be able to sleep tonight without, maybe you can send them a video in private, and that way they'll be
Yes.
able to sleep. You know, it's like taking NyQuil or something like that, you know. Got to have Senator Kennedy in order to get a good night's
That's
sleep.
right. That's right.
Well, folks, we love being with you. We love doing what we do. I hope we're getting better at what we do because we strive to do better all the time. We strive to have better equipment and and the technology side of things. Uh, so thank you for your love and your support. Thank you for the good things you say to us and hopefully about us behind our backs. And, I'm sure, I am relatively sure, Ronnie, this is directed directly at you, that there are some people that listen that have not been saying good things about you.
Oh, well, I don't care. Don't bother me.
I'm sorry. There's certain things I just cannot resist. And and with that being said,
Right.
say good night, Ronnie.
That is just fine. I will. I'll be here all week. Tip your waitresses and try the veal. Good night, everybody. Appreciate you being here.
Appreciate every one of you. And until we see you Wednesday night or sooner, if anything breaks down, go out and do the right thing.